Luis is out here, maybe piercing more people, so we will give him some time. We will go ahead and jump into Ricks versus Gricks here, and it's a good lineup here for Week 15. I'm excited about this. I'm excited to keep the competitive juices flowing around. So let's get it. Griffin, tell me what we're up against.
Time, space, referee decision-making. These are all just some of the mysterious, uncontrollable strands of life that make up the massive universe that we call home, and the comfort food for the soul that we call sports. As most people journey through it with no idea where to go or what to do, a select few will help you navigate terror, frustration, and endless possibilities of making a 50-50 choice. This is Ricks versus Gricks.
That's right. Reid's picks versus Griffin's picks. Griffin's not around, he's just all around. And now we have the Grick himself. We have Zuhair Ali. He is, just killing it. He's continuing to kill us, the Grick here. He is now 53-29 on the season. Like that's a
keep getting away with this.
It's a hell of a good year, Zoo. And went 4-0 last week. You know, it's what he's meant for. It's what he doesn't want 6-0. You can't do 6-0. You don't want 5-0. It's 4-0. We need 4-0 every week. So he went 4-0. He's 53-29. I went 4-0 as well. I'm 50-30 on the season. Luis Martinez, he went 0-4. He's 39-43 on the season now. And Scott went 3-3. He's 39-40.
I'm just happy to be here, man.
He's 39-44. There's no Zoo to throw in there. So yeah, he's just happy. I'm just happy to be nominated. We got a good week. It's a really good week of games, actually. And I wanted because it's going to get hard on some of these picks. So I wanted to start out with something, mildly good. I'm terrified every time Scott sends something into the group chat as we're doing the show. It's a photo. What is holy shit?
The more I look at the portion at the back, the worse it gets.
The 323 network on YouTube is where you go to see the horrors of Bill Belichick in Dazed and Confused. Brought on by Scott Ellia. Holy shit. I can't get that out of my head now. Whoa. First game up that we have, guys. We have the Dallas Cowboys. They're 5-8. Still technically in the mix, according to, The Simpsons on ESPN. I don't know. They are 5-8. They are at the Carolina Panthers, who are 3-10. Carolina's a 3-point favorite in this one. Before we even get into that, Cowboys Bengals was on Monday Night Football. It was also on Disney Plus. It was Simpsonized. Did either of you guys watch that or have any feelings, thoughts about it?
I did, and I don't know what I was expecting. I think I was expecting more than what they kind of gave us, but it was entertaining. The Simpsons are kind of a weird poll that you would do that for, but hey.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I watched the highlights on Twitter as NFL posted them. It was entertaining, but it was no Toy Story.
They kind of massacred our girl Mina Kimes. It didn't even look like Mina Kimes when I saw the opening introduction of her.
I saw her post that and I was like, that was a choice.
Stephen A. too. Stephen A. Smith. The only thing they got right on there was the forehead and the yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. And also, yeah, like you said, The Simpsons, that's an interesting choice. But I'm also kind of enjoying these random Simpsons themes. Holy shit, Scott, what is that? What the fuck is that? I don't even know if that's Belichick or some weird congressman who's about to he's trying to get in cool with people, but he's really going to destroy your life. Terrifying. 323
That's
Network again
All right,
on
Brady
YouTube.
and Belichick got a kid.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Just think
So
about
sad,
that win.
Brady.
Who's the top? Oh.
Yes.
Cowboys, Panthers, Scott, who are you taking?
We talked about this in our pre-production meeting because I was putting together the booty picks this week. And it comes down to who do I want to see lose more?
Meetings?
Is it Jerry Jones or is David Tepper? And both are just garbage human beings. But I hate to see, you expect this kind of debacle in Dallas year in and year out because Jerry Jones is inept. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. But in a franchise like the Carolina Panthers, you hope for so much more, especially in that division. And I want to see them keep losing because David Tepper he's just becoming my new, just most hated person in the NFL. So give me the Cowboys on the road as an underdog.
That is a good point that I hadn't thought about. Like, I've been enjoying the Panthers, kind of competitive streak here and feeling really good for Bryce Young, but completely forgot. I fucking hate David Tepper. Dude's a shithead. So, yeah, great point. Zoo, where are you at?
And Scott's pitch made me start overthinking it again because, I don't like Tepper, but good for Bryce Young and Canales being able to step it up with a skeleton crew of all things. But also, fuck the Cowboys. So, do I want the Cowboys to win and mess up their draft area?
You see how he's making you overthink. This is how he drags you down with him. He did this to me last week too.
Because I was sad, and then he brought all this up, and now I'm overthinking it again. You know what? I feel like the Cowboys were going to win this anyways. Yeah, let's take the Cowboys for this one.
Oh my goodness.
Zuhair, our lead folks, our new Dallas Cowboys correspondent.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, look at that. That would be awesome.
There we go.
I could say so many fun things. I'd get fired so quick.
There's no HR department here, Zoo. You don't have to worry about fireable offenses.
Also, by the way, on the NFC side, the Giants still are the only team that are officially eliminated from the playoff picture.
Absolutely
I just loaded
incredible.
that up and I just saw that. That's hilarious.
Absolutely
and it's
incredible.
6 teams gone for the AFC.
What a shit show. What is happening there?
Wow.
I'm very happy. I don't know who that was that just walked into Luis's frame. I hope we get some
pick.
I hope we get I want somebody random to come in and make a pick on there.
You know what? Maybe that's how we handicap Luis this week. He has to pick one person in that shop right now to make a pick for all these games.
Hold on, let me flip you so that way we can still at least put that we can still get him in there. There we go. We got him up in the corner now. So he will be on. He'll catch up on his picks. I'm very happy that Scott made you overthink there, Zoo.
That was me.
I'm very happy that you made Scott or Scott made you overthink because you and I need to split some more. I'm tired of us going with the same picks. We're damn good at this, Zoo. We're too damn good at this that I need to catch up. I need to overtake you on this. I am taking the Carolina Panthers in this one. I think they've been on a little too much of a competitive streak to not finally get one. And I think this is the time. The Cowboys are the perfect team to do it. Their defense is wildly up and down. Bryce Young has been making more and more strides. It could go terrible if Micah Parsons just decides to wreck them, but they did just lose one of their standout players of the season, Demarion Overshone. So we'll see how that affects their defense. I like the Panthers to take one here, and for the Cowboys to just really, that would feel like a little bit of rock bottom, losing to the Panthers, giving that up to them.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I like that for Jerry. Next up, we have, as we heat up here, the Miami Dolphins, who are 6-7. They are taking on the Houston Texans, who are 8-5. Houston's a 3-point favorite at home. Scott, who are you going to take?
I know the Dolphins are still alive as far as the playoffs go. They've kind of figured things out after going 2-6 in the first half of the season.
Yeah,
and they finally got in a little bit of a tear at 4 out of 5 last games. You know what? Give me Houston. Give me Houston. CJ Stroud is just looking like the shell of the player he was last year. He's had a quiet season. Let me get a get right game for Houston.
Let's get right. Zoo, are you gonna say the Texans are getting right, or is Miami gonna keep getting jiggy with it?
You guys played Mario Party?
I love Mario Party.
Where's this going?
You know when you pick one of the villains, it has a great upside, but when it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Sometimes you go backwards, sometimes you lose points, sometimes you just give up a star. That's how the Texans have been for me this year. That's how my picks have been felt this year. So I'm just going to stick with the Dolphins. Just feel safer.
Play it safe. I mean, I can't argue with that.
Just stick with the Mario.
Yeah, go Mario.
Dice 1 through 6. That's it.
This one's a tough one. This one has been pretty tough. I've kind of gone back and forth with it. I want to say Dolphins here. My gut has been telling me Dolphins all day. But I need to split here with Zoo. I need to start making some ground. I'm gonna finally put some faith in CJ Stroud. I've been calling on this sophomore slump all season. It's hit a little bit. I'm gonna say they start to heat up now. This is the point where they're gonna start to heat up a little bit, become a threat in the playoffs. Give me Houston.
It's gonna be amazing if you go 3-3 this week.
Oh, just look at it. Yeah, I'm gonna go 0-6. Because I just go all the way. The Buffalo Bills, they are 10-3 at the Detroit Lions, who are 12-1. Detroit is a 2.5-point favorite in this game that I think is a candidate for game of the week, which is testament to how good this week of games is. I want to give you all a Josh Allen touchdowns stat that I heard about, right? The dude, Josh Allen, has 62 rushing touchdowns in his career. He's 28. That is more rushing touchdowns than Hall of Famer O.J. Simpson with 61 touchdowns. That's more rushing touchdowns than Herschel Walker, D'Angelo Williams, Terrell Davis, Brandon Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon, and Christian McCaffrey. Josh Allen has more rushing touchdowns than all of them with 62. Absolutely insane work. Plus, he has a couple of receiving touchdowns and 198 passing touchdowns. Dude's a monster. Is that going to help him against the Lions, though, Scott?
I feel that it is. I know the Lions, they are what, 11-1, 12-1 on the season?
Yeah.
12-1.
Yeah, the only loss coming from week 2 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'll take that. No shade given here. But when you look at both of these teams kind of from a 1,000-foot view, I mean, the Buffalo Bills, they've been winning, and they've been winning handily in their games. Whereas the Lions, yeah, they're on a tear, but like the games that they're blowing these teams out in are games that they should, like the Jags and the Colts. But the last couple of weeks, only beating the Bears by 3 and the Packers by 3, which you would kind of expect. They seem to be allowing teams to stay in games longer than what they should. And when you're going against not only a talent with the Buffalo Bills, but when you have Josh Allen, who is newly engaged, so congratulations, Josh Allen. There's no room for error. I'm surprised it's a 4:00 game as well, but what could be potentially the Super Bowl this year with the Bills and Lions facing off, which I really hope it does end up being that way. Give me the Bills on the road. I know Jared Goff plays extremely well at home and in indoors, but that Josh Allen's too good to let him stay in the game.
Scott's taking the Buffalo Bills. Zoo, how about you?
Home field advantage. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
That was great counter analysis.
Duality of man.
I think this is going to be a tight game. I think it's going to live up to that spread of 2.5 right there. I am going to take the Detroit Lions. Only reason is Bills defense. Bills defense, they have not been great up against the run. They have not been as great against the run. They're a great passing defense, not great against running teams. The Lions, as much MVP talk as Jared Goff is getting, they are a hell of a great rushing team. That combo of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, they have been eating people up and setting up so much great stuff for that passing game. So I'm going to have the Lions to just, it's going to be a high scoring game like that Rams Bills game, but I'm going to have the Lions overtaking it. Next up, we have your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 7-6. They are at the Los Angeles Chargers, who are 8-5. Chargers are a 3-point favorite here. I'll switch it up. I'll start here just to, keep it fresh for you. I am going to take the LA Chargers in this one. I apologize in advance, but yeah, I got to take the Chargers here. I like Tampa. Tampa's been fun. They've been doing, way over exceeding my expectations, and I'm still hoping that they take the South. It's just that when they go up against some of these tough-ass defenses, they cause Baker to make these, these gunslinger decisions that you get out of vintage Baker Mayfield or Jameis Winston's, that type of frenzied decision-making. Chargers have a great defense. I think that they're going to take a little frustration out on the Bucs. It'll be tight. It'll be fun. Chargers ultimately come out with it, and, Herbert and Quentin Johnson, hopefully Quentin can start making, keep making his catches that he made against Kansas City last week, wild and up and down. We'll see how it goes. I like the Chargers, though, in this. Zoo, how about you?
Bucks, because at some point Scott said so.
In the future, Scott said so. Is that true, Scott? Did you say so?
Scott does say so, because I'm very interested to see the developments with Herbert with his ankle sprain. If he's A, going to play, and B, if he's going to be 100%, or if he's going to aggravate and get out of the game before halftime.
Oh, you really want Heineke to come out against the Bucs again?
I
said so.
Yeah, but what if Heineke said so? He said so a few years back. Well, we didn't win that game, but he still performed like hell in that game.
Nope.
We should have won that game. I still hold on to that rant. We should have won that game, but we didn't. Oh well. We have another contender for game of the week here. The Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a Pennsylvania Bowl. They are 10-3. They are at the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 11-2. Philly is a 4.5-point favorite. Scott, who are you taking?
I don't want to take either. So it comes down to, kind of drawing comparison to my justification between the Cowboys and Panthers about what owner I want to see lose the most. Now it comes back to the personal aspect. Who do I want to see lose the most between John from Brideford or Jeremiah, and see whose feelings I want to get hurt the most? And with one of those individuals being a part of our Space Force Fantasy League playoffs right now, and I wish nothing but no success for him as he goes up against and faces you this week, Reid, is Jeremiah. And I hope the Steelers lose, and I will root for the Eagles.
Just rooting on somebody's misery. I like it. Zoo, how about you?
I think the Steelers defense has shown their ability to contain running quarterbacks with the Ravens and the Commanders, and just time and time again, they show that they can put up a good show on the defensive side of the ball. And obviously one coach is actually good and the other one is going to get fired despite having a winning season, because that's just how much of the locker room culture has gone to shit over there. So cry Eagles cry, we're taking the Steelers. Something fell and I don't know what.
It may be a Pokeball. It's a very good point that you make there on the locker room culture in Philly. We've seen, they're still strong. Everything's playing well. Saquon Barkley's about to potentially get the rushing yards record in the league. That's a great case for MVP. But we're starting to see now a little bit of, I don't know if it's temper flare or drama between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, according to Brandon Graham, and Kellen Moore is talking about it too. We've had this already with a little bit of beef between Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. Maybe it's a Jalen Hurts problem? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't like
I
the
still
guy.
think Jalen Hurts is an above-average quarterback that is just masked by a really good offense.
Overrated. I'm gonna be the one. I'm tired of Jalen Hurts. I know that he's a good guy. I know that he, great
You'll have your mom
leadership.
hear that.
Great leadership shit. Yeah, he's handsome. He's got a Damon Wayans Jr. kind of appeal. I get it. But the dude, he looks like he's gonna cry every time in a press conference. He's got drama with his head coach. He's got drama with his number one wide receiver. At some point, you see smoke. Maybe the fire is wearing number one. I don't know. All that said, I'm taking the Eagles. And I'm taking it because of the great white hope back there in the defensive backfield for Philly, Cooper DeJean, who's just causing shit. Like, I don't like him. I don't like that he's starting, he's locking people up. He's a Bill Belichick archetype, which now I'm thinking about it. Bill Belichick at North Carolina. Could we see the Duke of college football now with an all-white football team in college football? College Shame Day every Saturday morning on the 323 network. We'll tell you why. But I'm also not feeling too great about Pittsburgh's offense going up against this Philly defense, simply because not only of how they're locking people up, George Pickens isn't at total health right now. Najee Harris is kind of up and down in that run game. Russell can steer it, but I think Philly's just going to handle this completely. So give me the Eagles, unfortunately. Final game of the week here. We have the Green Bay Packers, who are 9-4. They are at the Seattle Seahawks, who are 8-5. Green Bay is a 3-point favorite on the road. Scott, who are you taking?
And the Seahawks are 8-5, and it's very sneaky 8-5. But I feel it's not that Geno Smith is fraudulent, but the Seahawks as a whole are fraudulent. Because if you look at those wins, they're not against the greatest of teams.
Hall of Famer like that.
He's still a Hall of Famer. He's going to lead them to success and a Super Bowl this year. But hey, that's neither here nor there.
I don't know. That sounded like writing him off. I heard pencil and paper.
Anyways, 8:00 Packers. The Packers. I don't know, man. Like, what are they right now behind the Lions? 1 game behind? 2 games behind?
No, they're
3 games behind.
They're 9-4, right?
Yeah, they're a game behind the Vikings, I think, or a game and a half behind the Vikings. In that, Vikings are even behind the Packers.
Right, and I still think they're still slated for that 6th seed in the playoffs, anyways, for the Packers. But you know what? To express my, I'm human, right? Humans make mistakes.
So you claim.
I see that sometimes you see the error in your ways, within a couple of seconds of your decision and what you say, and maybe a couple years down the road. And sometimes you never understand where you went wrong. And I can understand that I just went wrong by writing off Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks. So as my apology gift to you, Geno, in this holiday season, I'm picking the Seahawks at home.
I love that we just bullied him into that.
That's what he gets for making me
both you guys are taking
the
Packers and the Packers win.
Zoo, who are you taking here?
While I feel like the Packers have the upper hand, I am going to vote off of selfish reasons right now. I feel like the Commanders have the likeliness of getting that 6th seed, and the Packers are currently holding it. So we are going to take my Seahawks at home.
All right. Once again, and this one was already pre-planned, I'm going against you. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers in this. I don't know. Packers are low-key a primetime team. Like, they're pretty entertaining there in primetime. I agree with what was said earlier and then backtracked heavily in that the Seahawks, I believe, are a fraudulent team. I think they're frauds out here. I'll write off Geno Smith. I did it last year. I've done
the Hail Mary game. I've
done it multiple years now where I've wrote this Hall of Fame motherfucker off several times, and damn it, I'm doing it again. The Seahawks aren't winning this game. That's a Reid Murphy guarantee, actually. I'm throwing that out there. The Seahawks are not beating the Green Bay Packers. We can mark this. We'll play it back. If I'm wrong, but I'm not going to be wrong, the Packers are winning this game handily against the Seahawks. That's a Reid Bear roar right there.
I'm doing the Stephen A. Smith Cowboys bit. If you get wrong,
okay, that's fine. Dress up like a Seahawk. That's okay. We'll come in with a Starbucks cup and everything. Or do I have to do that? What is this? What is this bet that we're making here?
I don't know. I'm just going to say I'm going to do
intrigued.
the Stephen A. Smith bit where he just laughs.
That's okay. Yeah. Just throw that out on social media. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll tag that out. At some point, we will get. Luis is just up in the corner, just silent. I don't know. He doesn't have any picks for this one, so maybe some random person will come by and we'll make those. We'll have them make those picks. But
I just love the fact that he had this whole proclamation of never wearing his Jets hat in the one picture we put up of him. It's him in the Jets hat.
We just adamantly, it